Yo, welcome back. I didn't know if I was gonna video this or not because there's so many videos about painting a trim around the gauge cluster and the center console on a Honda Element. Many people have done it, but I'm gonna go a little bit different. I am gonna paint it, definitely gonna paint it, but the technique I'm gonna use is called Stardust. Well, it has many names. Yeah, I just call it Stardust, but it has many names. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So it's not a sponsor whatsoever, but it's called Stardust Colors. It's like a crystallizing effect. So it's gonna have like a crystal effect. I'm gonna put a sample, what it would look like, really high end, probably over here somewhere, just so you can see exactly what kind of effect it's gonna have. Now, the picture I just showed, that was like four different stages. The one I'm gonna do today is only 3. So it's silver effect. What was it? Silver effect, black, and then clear right over it. Now let me show you guys the trim piece. So this one has been painted already before, so I don't really have to do anything much to it, but to sand it down. I did lightly sand it with 400, and also this bezel here was painted. Now, when I was working on this, I noticed that the silver scratched off really easy. So what I did, I went on ahead and 400 the whole thing, got it all off, and then I sprayed it with the U-Pull adhesion promoter. You have to put this on there, because if not, that paint will peel off. You don't have to put a lot. You could just put a little bit on there, you know, spray a little bit on there. It's going to dry kind of fast. Well, if it was really hot, it'll been dry already. And as you can see, that this already had dried. So that's almost like your primer. You can primer it, paint it, clear it, or just primer and paint it. This was actually sanded down adhesion promoter. It was not primed. Well, no, it was. I did prime it, and then I painted. I didn't put no clear coat or anything on it. Let me show you in the orange element. This one, I painted it the gloss black, and it looks really nice. I like the gloss black in there. It looks really clean. I do have to get a head unit for it. That's what we're going to work on today. I'm just going to give you guys step-by-step process of what it's gonna look like. I'll put this back. And this stuff here is kind of expensive. This one little, 500 milliliters. Yeah, it was like 100 bucks almost. I think it was like, well, with shipping, I think it was like 140. But it'll last a very long time. I think if you was to do a car, you probably could do maybe 3 or 4 cars out of that, depending on, you know, how much the effect you want it to happen. You could lightly spray it where it has barely effect. You can see it's noticeable, guaranteed. But if you was to spray it on heavy, then it probably lasts 2 cars, and the effect is crazy. So the picture I showed earlier, that was sprayed twice. Light mist. So I think if you spray it heavy, you have a more intense effect, which you're probably going to do. I'll probably want to do it a little bit heavier, but let's get started. All right, so you can see it's starting to take effect, especially on here. You see, like it looks like a what do you call that? Like it's something wrong with the paint, like contamination. Everything is starting to crystallize. You saw me blowing air on it. That makes it go faster, because when it's hot and you spray it, it immediately start crystallizing. And see those runs, that's not what I wanted. That's why I was trying to blow that off. I just sprayed it just a tad bit too thick. You can see it's crystallizing and it's drying. It didn't change much whatsoever, but right now you guys can barely see it, the effects on it. So now it's time to, I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit more, and then we're gonna move up to the third stage. All right, so I let the paint dry for about 5-10 minutes. It doesn't take much, especially in the heat here. And we're gonna go to the cleaning room because we need to start with this Scotch-Brite on the black paint. So I'm gonna take one of the rings and show you guys the effect, and then I would just show the whole thing at once. So you get somewhat of an understanding of what I'm doing. So, all right, here's the clip, which is the front grass. Put you right there. All right. So you just use a little bit of water. You know, just wet it down just a little bit there. And then you take your Scotch-Brite. I mean, barely, don't put pressure on it. Whatever you do, just let it, just, you could put a little, I guess a little bit of pressure, it's not going to matter. But what you want to do is just lightly sand off some of the black, so you could get the effect underneath. See, it's just barely touching and it's coming off. To the inner part. The water just helps it glides over a little bit more. It doesn't do anything special. And with this type of effect, it's always going to be different. They're never going to be any identical. So it's getting a little dry. And if you sand too much, you'll basically get rid of all the black. And come by with a barking dog. Perfect timing. So it's totally up to you how much you want the effect to show. If you want a very light effect, then you sand most of it off. If you want the effect to be more, then you just lightly sand some of the black off. So the black is there only to show the star, what I call the little stardust. And that's what it's going to look like before clearing. So it's basically controlled chaos. You could use any colors you want. You could, I don't know if you could use white. I believe you can. I know you could use any colors. Silver is more bright, or whatever the case may be, color to me. And when I was watching these videos, now I got this idea from Europe, because they don't sell that here, and I actually had to order from there, and it took like a month to get here. So at this stage, at this part, you can actually, it's up to you what you want to do. Like you could do silver and do like the orange element. You could paint it orange, and then use a green Scotch-Brite, and it'll be orange and silver, and then you could clear over it. I mean, yeah, orange and silver and clear over it. So the chaos will look, instead of black, it would be orange or green or blue or whatever the case may be. Or you go another level even higher and do the silver, black, and then get a candy orange and spray over it, transparent. So when I first started the video and I showed you guys that purple gauge pod, that's actually candy purple. So it was silver, black, candy purple, then clear. And this is a lot of step process. So this morning it's gonna probably take me, it probably took me about probably about 4 hours just for these little pieces. And just imagine doing a motorcycle or a scooter or even a car. That's a whole nother level there. So the next step at this point, I'm just gonna clear it, because I don't have any. I thought about doing a transparent green, but I got enough green. So I'm just gonna clear it as is, you know. And to me, if I get tired of it, just sand it down and repaint it. It's not a big deal. Or I could just sell this and just get somebody's used stuff, whether OEM stuff. So we're gonna finish up, and I'm gonna just clear it. Once I clear it, and then we will jump back into the car and put it back together. All right, I think that's it. All right. Okay, so it's been a couple hours. Had to let the clear somewhat dry. It feels real dry to the touch. Not too bad at all. So what I'm gonna start with is probably this one here. I'm gonna start with the passenger side, putting that vent back together. And all right, so we're gonna start from this side. You see it's all tore apart. It's not too hard to put it back together. We're gonna start with this vent here, and I don't know if you guys can see this. If you ever wanted to know which way this goes, it actually has a word there. Right there, it says up. And we know that this close-off vent goes at the bottom. So it would just lock into place like that. That's simple. And then just take this and put it in there, click, and it's done. That's pretty much it. Let's see here. Get this back in there. And then as the screw goes here, and then you just feed this bad joker back in. Like so. And then that's it. Honestly, I have no idea where that screw is at. I don't know. But it's 2 screws that go here that pulls it in. And let's see, where is that at? And that is your install. And you could turn this wherever you want. Open and close. That's it. So let's put the rest of it together and then we'll check it out. Alright, so that's pretty much it. We have the bezels done. Totally done. One day. To plus dry time, and I was afraid that it might, you know, underneath the clear coat it wasn't dry, but it was actually pretty decent. And I was just checking to see, because I thought I'd see like it had texture to it, but it's actually pretty smooth. Huh, it has a little bit of texture, but you can, if you wanted to, you could wet sand and paint it. I mean, wet sand and buff it, but I don't think it needs to go that far, honestly. But that's it on the bezels. The next thing I want to tackle is this steering wheel, these little plastics, because if you look, they all worn, look pretty nasty. So I might probably right now or later, I don't know, probably later, because I need to do some yard work first. Next thing I want to show you guys, and I told you at the last video that I was going to share what the upholstery guy Drew did for me, and he to me it looks great. It was actually better than what I imagined, like 100% better than what I imagined, and I will show you guys that right now. So the seat is, yeah, it's tall in the back. It is very tall, even though my backing is only a little bit there. It has to be that way because they're part of the legs on the floor. But I have Velcro here, and I'm gonna make some standoffs to hold that, even though it's against the wall there. And I never lean all the way back in here anyway, because I'm always leaning forward either doing something in there. But they fully Velcroed in. They also, let me see if I can show you on this one. Right here has Velcro, and also on this side. So when I lay it flat, it Velcros together and works great. And I am stoked about it. It's absolutely nice. And what I noticed yesterday, after having it for a few days, they even put a zipper here, and I was like, whoa, it's a zipper there. So I can actually take it out if it ever, you know, need a padding redone. I'm going to just unzip it and put more padding. But I love it. I love it. Let me lay it down and show you guys what the bed form looks like. All right, that's the bed form. Remember I was talking about the Velcro in the center? This is to keep the sort of mattress pads or pads won't come apart, and plus it's a lot of Velcro underneath, so it's it's not gonna move. This bench will actually fly out before those paddings will. Those paddings are more secured than a bench. But yeah, that's the bed form, and I still could put a lot of things underneath, all the way to the driver's seat, and passenger I could just fill it up and just leave it in bed form. But I like it as a seat. Plus I slide stuff, bigger things down the side there instead of putting them on top of the cushions. So I like it with the forms in. I am doing some experimental window shades. It's actually the bubble insulation, that silver stuff, and then I Gorilla Glued it both sides, and then I sewed around it so to be even stronger. That's the only one I have right now. It's a test one. I do have one for this window, but I just pulled it out because it's not perfect yet. It's not even close. So I'm gonna redo that one. I do have one right here. I had to put one here immediately because I have stuff inside the cabinet already, and you can actually see it from the back, and I didn't want nobody seeing what's in there. And that's all for today for the element. I have a lot more things to do this weekend and the following week. Stuff to do then. I'm just trying to get it done because I have a lot of things that's going down in November and December. Big thing in December. I guess I can fill you guys in right now. So as a lot of you guys know, from some of my older viewers, they already know I had braces put on, all that good stuff. Well, I have to have surgery on my jaw. So that's in December. So when it comes to December, I won't be posting any videos for probably, I want to say, till I could talk again, probably a month or 2 or 2 months, maybe 2, depending on how things go down. I honestly, I can't predict anything. I could be fine in a couple weeks, or I could be fine in a couple months. I have no idea. But anyway, they have to section my jaw and then bring it forward, and so it line up on my dentures, because my dentures are falling behind. So anyway, that's way down the line. So I'm at a loss of words because I started talking about that, because it's a big mind thing. If you guys, some of you guys may know that'll mess with you up here, but I just see it as another day. Stuff like that happens all the time. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, I will post. I'm gonna try to. I had bought that stuff a while ago, but I'm gonna find a link and put it down if anybody wants it. I think it's cool. Honestly, you can't make a mistake. This stuff is super forgiving. Just like even with a paint job, it's forgiving. If you mess up your paint, you could just always go and sand it down and repaint it. It's the same way with this. But when it comes to paint, you can see nibs and all kind of the paint defect or fish eyes or orange peel. But with this, you don't see none of that stuff because it's so much design. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? Like a concept car. A car that they don't want nobody to see and they cover it all up. That's what it is. It looks exactly like that. It's just more scattered chaos. It's just more scattered all over the place. So until then, I guess I will talk to you guys later. Please.